Oscars, episode 13.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Old and new friends. We're making new friends. We like that. Hope you're all doing good.
And happy daylight savings time.
Yeah, happy daylight savings time. We got to sleep an hour less, but it's been a good weekend.
Yeah, it's been a really good weekend. It's been a functional weekend.
Dysfunctional?
I don't know. It could be dysfunctional or functional for me. I think it was more functional because I was able to clean the house with your help yesterday, and I managed to binge watch.
Yes, we did a little HBO free trial, binge watch True Detective.
Oh my gosh, that series is so good.
It's a really cool show. If you haven't watched it, get on it.
It's highly recommended, people.
Yes. We have some cool topics this week.
Yeah, I think we should discuss a little bit about the Oscars or the Academy Awards, whatever you want to call it. I think most movie buffs and actors would call it the Academy Awards.
The Academy Award for Best Podcast.
Did I ever tell you about the dream that I had with... oh my gosh. I had a dream that we were nominated for some podcast award. Whatever happened. But again, this is a dream. And we were in the same category with Mark Maron.
That's cool.
Yeah, and I was like, man, it's so... I was like, I met Mark Maron in the little award ceremony banquet thingy, and I was just like, Mark Maron. And then when it came to, announcing the winners, we won over Mark Maron. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And then Mark Maron hated me after that.
Oh, wow.
I know. But it was a cool
You'll
dream.
do better next year, Mark.
It was a cool dream, I have to say. Yeah.
So, yeah, you wanna jump right to the Oscars?
Well, yeah, sure, why not?
Or did you want to go brief through what we're gonna talk about today?
We can do that too.
So what do we have? We have some Oscars.
Let's see.
The Pursuit of Happiness.
Yes, The Pursuit of Happiness. The Bullshit of the Week. And
Streaming services. So we have a lot to talk about, I think. Yeah. Without further ado, let's get on it.
Okay, so the Oscars was last week Sunday, and there wasn't really much else to do or watch, so I decided to sit down and watch it.
And what did you think?
I thought it was a bunch of crap.
Why?
I just hated the whole, we have to be sensitive to every race out there, so let's include everybody in the little, scheme of things, like in the programming and stuff.
It felt very scripted.
It was very artificial.
Yeah.
If you ask me, it was very obvious that they were trying to
make everybody feel included.
Yeah, and to make it diverse. I mean, it was so obvious that they were trying to diversify the program, and it was just so lame.
Yeah, I have a bit of...
It was really lame. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, and I have an issue with the whole diversify for diversity's sake, because it does become scripted.
And it actually waters down the integrity of the award, I think.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's like that if it's the awards, if it's a TV show, whatever it comes down to, it feels very stilted. And also, in the case of Oscars, like we will discuss soon, even though they did it still becomes very... I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. Help me out.
I don't know. I think they were just playing too much on the Me Too movement.
A lot of Me Too with getting women included there. But then we had a lot of like African American movies that got awarded things. And that was taken, it always gets taken very serious when it comes to African American things, I think.
Yeah.
Because then, in the middle of it all, it's the Hispanic movies and actors and actresses. They become almost still a, God, what's the word I'm looking for?
Still seen as a minority?
No. But still like the not butt of everybody's jokes. That's not the word. They still become stereotype is what I'm looking for, and that's my thing with diversify for diversity's sake. To me, it becomes very scripted, and at the end of the day, there's always somebody that becomes stereotyped. And here's the thing: don't get me wrong, I'm as far away from a racist you can be.
Same here.
We're an interracial couple.
Yes.
So don't start posting crap here. But my thing is that if we want to break down stereotypes, I think we have to not do it from like the top down. It's us as individuals that have to get over our own stereotypes. Because regardless if it's about race, regardless of what it's about, let's just face it, most of us carry stereotypes. A long-haired, tattooed white male is at best in most people's eye an artist, or at worst a convict. And that's as bad of a stereotype as if you go into race or whatever. We all carry stereotypes. If we want to get rid of them, it's not enough to diversify an award program. It's up to us to break it down ourselves, to realize that long-haired tattooed guy, he might as well be a lawyer or a CEO of a serious company.
Right.
And as long as we can't break that, it don't matter what the awards try to do. I thought it was very scripted, and one thing that got me is that, okay, so this year we let the African American community in way more than we have before.
Yeah,
which is good.
And I kind of saw Dave Chappelle as a cop-out.
Yeah, for sure.
I felt so bad when I saw him there the way he was. I was just like, no, dude, come on. I thought you were better than this.
But the movies, too, it's always about the struggle of the black man. Fair enough, you might say, but here is my big thing to this. The Hispanic population got represented by women with thick accents, because we all know all Hispanics carry thick accents. And the movies that were nominated, and I think might have won awards too, they were this strange, bizarre science fiction fantasy movie.
Yeah. Like,
and then a super stereotypical cartoon.
That is Coco. The other one that you're talking about is Shades of Water, I think.
I can't remember. Guillermo del Toro, which I think he's an amazing director.
Yeah.
Writer and everything. But if we're going to take people serious and be super serious and super inclusive, I know for a fact, just look at Netflix, there's tons of other types of movies coming out of Spanish-speaking countries. And it kind of gets to me that even though we tried to be so inclusive and diversify, we ended up, in a sense, making fun of a whole group of people anyways. It's BS to me.
Yeah, I just, it didn't sit well with me.
No, it didn't. I think it was kind of silly.
Yeah. Let us know what you think about it.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I would be really interested in hearing.
Yeah. So my bullshit of the week this week is going to be on streaming services. Such as like Pandora, Hulu, Netflix, anything and everything you could think of, those type of services. They're okay for the music ones, the analog. I mean, not the analog. Oh my God, the algorithms that they use to play the music that you might like and stuff. And I'm like, what the hell? They play some shit that I'm like, no, that's not what I like. And I'm like, okay, thumbs down or pass it up or whatever. And then you're like, okay, well, where's the actual artist that I wanted to hear?
Yeah,
for this particular playlist or whatever, and it's just some random crap.
Now, do you
but
think
then
that
if you upgrade to their premium services, then you actually get to hear the stuff that you want.
Do you? No, I'm asking. Do you get to hear what you want if you upgrade though? Because I use one of the streaming services that I pay for, but I don't really do the whole PlayStation's playlists. I've been rebuilding my music library that I've lost over the years.
And for the most part, you're able to get the music that you want.
Yeah, oh yeah, I mean, it's very seldom I can't, and in the instances I can't, it's not really the streaming service's fault. It's because the record label the artist is on has opted out of using a streaming service. So I don't know what would happen to me if I created playlists, if I would still get the random stuff. My thinking might be that if you're not paying for it, since they are still paying out artists, maybe they're opting for like the free music that's uploaded there, and they kind of tried to put it together that way.
Well, I know they try to put like, particular, like I listen to Spotify and I listen to the basic stuff. I mean, I don't... The,
like, free Spotify, whatever?
I don't really pay for it or whatever. So, when I like a particular artist or a couple of artists and they're all in the same genre, Spotify will create a playlist for me. And I kind of like that. I kind of like listening to playlists that other people can create based off the music that I like. That's cool and everything. But sometimes they water it down with other bullshit, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I just wonder if they would do that if you were a paying customer too. I'm not sure.
I'm pretty sure they would do that. And I do kind of like it in the sense you can discover new artists or a new sound, or a new genre per se.
Yeah.
But sometimes they just water it down too much, or they try to get you to use up all your skips so that you can subscribe to them.
Yeah, I think it might be bad algorithms, because even though I'm not using Spotify, I have noticed too that if you do the whole similar artists or artists you like in comparison to the one you listen to, you get a lot of either very mainstream hits on it, or what, like you call it, watered down to like, I've never heard of this
very obscure kind of
versus
band
the one I
or
subscribe
whatever.
to Google. If I type in an artist, I get really cool hits, even though in terms of they're not maybe always these mainstream equivalents. You get deeper down and discover some truly good artists that you would have missed otherwise.
Yeah. And
so,
I mean, I give Spotify credit
or...
for doing that, but then sometimes they're on it and sometimes they're completely off.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't get how that stuff works. I'm not a techie.
No.
By all means.
And I have a different issue with some of the streaming too, and that goes out, I think, more to our listeners here. I'm gonna make you guys upset. No, but it's something I've heard for a long time now. It's how artists complain that they don't make a whole lot of money off the streaming services. And boy, if you're a new artist that has done your whole career on the internet, so to speak, guys, unless you were Guns N' Roses, Nirvana, or the Rolling Stones, like a huge artist back in the 70s or 80s, there's never been any money in albums.
Yeah.
The only difference is that today you guys can record high quality recordings for really inexpensive, and you might only get 10 cents a play. But the reality is, way back when, it sounds like a lot of money. You hear of people getting like, oh, they got an advance for $50,000. Keep in mind that throughout history, no one has made more than 10 cents a play on anything, because back then it was record labels, managers,
the money
and lawyers
went to
that
them.
took everything. Yeah, just read a biography by any artist who was performing in the 80s, and they'll tell you that they always ended up somehow mysteriously owing the record company money. And those were million album selling artists. You guys today, you may not make a whole lot of it. Nobody's ever done. But at least you don't owe companies and studios a bunch of money. The money you can make, it's always been like that. Trust me. I was in the game for a long time. It's through live shows and merchandise.
Yeah, I could see how that would work.
An album has always just been your way of getting your name out to a hopefully broader audience than you can get by playing your local shows.
Yeah, and now, I mean, you can just put that on the internet.
Yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, that's the way I'm gonna go if I put together another project. Because, like I said, you can get professionally sounding recordings for under $1,000, and you can record it in your own home or your rehearsing space, places like that, and make it sound as good as the studios that charged you $100 an hour 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So it's totally the way to go, and don't ever expect to get rich on quote unquote album sales, whether it be a hard copy, some sort of vinyl or a CD, or online. You guys are actually better off today doing the whole online thing and take your 10 cents. Because like I said, no one has ever made money on their records. You can pick up anybody famous's autobiography and read about it, how they all in the end sold millions of records yet owed the record company money.
Right.
So be happy that we have this fantastic media, I would call it today. The technology today, yeah, for sure. I mean, we do this for free.
Yeah, this is pretty amazing.
And I mean, it's amazing. The investment we have in doing this is next to nothing. 20 years ago, we would have been paying out the wazoo and had to have commercial breaks probably every 5 minutes doing this.
Yeah.
Side note on the bullshit of streaming, but I think the bullshit goes both ways. I think that's my point of it. The bullshit is that their algorithms and the way they pay out money kind of sucks.
Yeah.
But at the same time, a lot of you guys suck too by thinking that you should get paid a lot. Me as an artist have never understood why we think we're entitled to make millions of dollars. We're doing something we love, and if we can get just by doing it, paying our bills, that should be good enough. Most people don't ever get the luxury of touring the world, getting to spend their days filled with what they love. They have to go to miserable 9-to-5s, and if we don't...
Yeah, that's how most people are doing it.
Yeah, we should be happy by not having to do it. And then we keep calling bullshit on streaming services such as Hulu, Netflix, HBO. Wasn't that your second part of the bullshit?
Yeah, Amazon Prime. They're kind of sneaky.
Yeah, I think Amazon Prime and Hulu are the sneakiest, because Netflix basically...
Oh, and networks like HBO.
Yes.
Those greedy bastards.
Yeah, I want to exclude, just take a quick one out of there, exclude Netflix. I think they've been playing it real good. It's not their fault when the big players decide to pull their stuff from them. Yeah,
the premium networks like HBO and Showtime has pulled some of their stuff from Netflix.
Stars, I think, pulled things.
Even like the cable networks, Comedy Central.
Yeah, a lot
has been
of them.
very stingy with their stuff.
I think a lot of them have become greedy and stingy, but I still want to do a shout out in this bullshit to Netflix for not copping out. I mean, they may not always have stuff that's of the greatest quality, but they're doing as good as they can without any frills. They're basically saying, pay us X amount of dollars and you can watch our stuff.
Yeah.
But all these
I think they're kind of like sticking to their niche,
Yeah, and
It works for them.
Kudos to them, but the other streaming services, yeah, big bullshit on you guys.
Yeah, I have to say.
The reason we're saying this is because, well, shit. Let's shoot straight with you guys. You guys like it when we do. So yesterday morning, I guess Michelle woke up earlier than me, or I was out doing something.
Yeah, me
it don't
half
matter.
asleep, trying to watch some TV to like either fall asleep on the couch again or just to relax a little bit. But
so what happened was, long story short, she pushed the Amazon button where it popped up saying that, hey, you get to try HBO, whatever their, what's it called? The
'cause
HBO Now or whatever.
So we had a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime or whatever.
Which expired.
And I didn't know that it expired. And then I saw that HBO was giving like a free 7-day trial. And I was like, hey, we have a free Amazon Prime. So it should be free to do this HBO thing.
So she clicked on the HBO thing and got it for free. The only thing is the rat bastards at Amazon Prime at no point said, hey, if you do this, you're actually signing up for Amazon Prime. So this morning when I wake up, my email is all like, we're charging you $149 for Amazon Prime. And I said, no, thank you. but it's a sneaky way of doing things.
You need to child-proof the remote.
No, because they should tell you that, hey, if you accept this offer that we're offering you, you actually also have to get this other side of it.
Yeah.
The trial expired.
They didn't give the terms or anything like that
and that's bullshit
when I clicked OK.
Because you can actually use the Amazon TV app without Prime, but you pay for everything.
Yeah.
So they shouldn't have just signed you on without letting you know that you actually signed on for Prime as well.
Yeah, that's why they get a lot of people. And I usually hear that in passing conversations at work or whatever.
And they're
like, oh, well, I wanted to get, HBO or something like that. Or I wanted to buy this, but then, I had to sign up for Amazon Prime and it, ended up costing me like $200 or whatever for the year. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. And they're like, oh, well, I'm just going to keep the services because, I don't feel like going back and, canceling or something. And I'm like,
because
what?
Seriously, canceling, you know what? Amazon Prime is one of the hardest things to cancel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you go in and say, okay, I want to cancel this. Then they get this sneaky option thing that changes where it's like, oh, do you just want one more month? Do you want to be reminded later to cancel? Or are you sure you want to end this now? So you click end. You're not ending it. Another thing comes up with basically the same options, scrambled again. You have to do that like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
Until you're canceled. So that's sneaky.
That's very
nasty.
sneaky.
That's ugly.
Yeah.
And while we're on this rant, a big fuck you to Hulu and HBO as well. Because you guys say that you can add on Hulu or you can add on HBO to your Hulu for $14.99 a month.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds cool. I want to do that. Try to do it. The little extra stipulation is that you can only watch that HBO stuff on certain devices.
Yeah,
that's bullshit.
That
if you put Hulu on my TV, because that's how we watch things, on the TV. I have the Hulu app on my TV, and you tell me that for $15 more a month, I can watch HBO. You better damn well put that fucking HBO stuff on my app on the TV. I shouldn't have to go buy a PlayStation or a Fire Dongle Dingle Dongle or something or other. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, big bullshit and shame on you guys.
Yeah, because then you have to like add a device to your TV to watch if you want to watch it from your phone or something because your phone has access to it. It's just, I don't know, maybe we're getting old.
Maybe, but the thing still remains. Like I said, to do a comparison there, Google Music, we're back to the streaming music services. Mm-hmm. They say that for $9 a month, I get access to millions of songs and albums. And guess what I do? I pay $9 a month, and on my Google Play app, the music app, I just add stuff to my library, or if I don't want to add stuff to my library, I can just listen to it. The equivalent of what Hulu and them are doing would be that they say, hey, for $9 a month, you get access to all this music. Do you want to do it? Yeah, sign up. And then you type in what you want to hear. And then it's like, well, to do this, you need to download the Pandora app. But you can use the same username and password from here to there. So when you're finally done with that, Pandora says, well, now you have to go to Amazon Music and type in this free code to download this, but you can only listen to it in the Amazon app. Mm-hmm. That's stupid. That would be so dumb. Maybe we're getting old, but seriously, guys, if you're going to do all this stuff and make the money you think you want, because come on, at the end of the day, you guys gave this shit away for free to Netflix and Hulu a couple of years ago. Then you saw how many people listened to it and took it back just to sell it back to these companies again.
Yeah.
You better make it accessible in a reasonable way. I shouldn't have to have a phone and a computer and a TV just so I can tune in on my radio to get the sound. But to that, you need this. No. Just make it accessible and I'll pay the money. Until then, fuck you all. Bullshit.
Dang. You go, Chris.
Yeah, I get fired up when I spend an hour on something that just comes to no avail at the end anyways.
Yeah, that really sucks.
It does.
It's wasted time.
Completely.
You want that time back, especially during daylight savings time.
Right? That already cost me an hour.
Yeah,
somebody owes me 2 hours.
Yep. Hulu, HBO. No, just kidding. I mean, I'm not saying to not use these products or whatever, but whoever's out there listening that has the ability to change it, by all means, do it for me, because I'm getting old and I can't keep up with all this damn technology.
Right. No, to each their own. I'm not saying boycott it at all. This is more actually, I think, a warning for people that like us that aren't completely tech-loving, app-savvy people and want this stuff anyways. Yeah. That your $15.99 might cost you 2 to 3 times as much if you're not careful. So just watch out.
Yeah, watch out for yourselves. Take care of yourselves, everybody.
Yep.
And so on that note,
yes.
I was thinking, I'm still kind of, processing my grandfather's death.
Uh-huh.
And I was just kind of thinking about how he was so happy. He was very happy-go-lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have a lot. He lost his mother when he was a child.
Uh-huh.
I want to say he was 3 years old when he lost his mother, and he was one of maybe 10 in that family.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had a stepmother, and I think the stepmother didn't treat him very well. Long story short, he didn't come from a nice, loving family, and he didn't have a lot. But when he married my grandmother and they had 7 kids, they still didn't have a lot. And it's like they still loved each other. Everybody was happy all the time. And even to this day, when the family gets together, it's just nothing but love and people just having a good time, talking and laughing and just being together. And I think that's really awesome. But I kind of compare them. I compare my dad's side of the family and my mom's side of the family. My dad's side of the family is very happy-go-lucky and loving. Mm-hmm. And my mom's side of the family is the complete opposite. They are, well, to be nice, they're just a little more, I'm looking for the word and trying to be nice at the same time. But let's just say, in order for them to have a good time, they have to have a drink in their hand You know, and there's always, you know, disagreements within the family. And nobody's really always happy when the entire family's together.
And they're more materialistic too.
Yeah, I have to say that they are.
They equate happiness with
money.
Stuff and money.
Yeah. So I would say that, I mean, if I compare the two, my dad's side of the family is very happy and they're happy because they're with their family. And they love their family. You know what I mean? It's just love and happiness just shoots out every time I spend time with them. On the other hand, because my mom's side of the family maybe values money over or over love or whatever, or
I think when we were talking about it today, I think it's not just this. I mean, this happens all around us, and I value happiness.
What makes you happy?
What you're asking me?
Yeah, well, I'm just saying in general, because like I said, they're happy because they love each other, and on my dad's side of the family, my mom's side of the family, they're happy if they have money in their hand,
and usually they don't, because most people don't. No, but it's a good question. What makes people happy? I'm not very materialistic. I value, like I said today, I value that I have a loving wife. Aww. That we have a good life together, that we can maintain the life we have without always being stressed about can we afford it. We don't really live above our means.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong here, people. I would love fancy, expensive stuff, but that's
in the long run, that wouldn't keep you happy.
No, I certainly don't equate materialistic things with happiness. They would be if we mysteriously, magically ended up with tons of money, it would
if we win the lotto.
Pretty much, right? Because there's no rich Uncle Harry around that we know of. But I mean, I rather have what we have in all aspects. That makes me happy. I wouldn't trade that for having a bad relationships, but 2 fancy brand new cars, fancy headstock name brands on my guitars, Rolex watch and stuff. That to me doesn't equate happiness. And I think it's sad that so many people today are being fooled into thinking that all this materialistic stuff is, if you have it, that'll make you happy.
Yeah.
It's an added bonus, but I know people of all walks of life. And one thing that has always struck me is that it seems to me that the poor hobos that I know always seem to be more content and happy than the people I do know that have all this fancy stuff, where everything is about having the latest, the most expensive. They never seem happy. Yeah. And I think people today are fooling themselves into thinking that instead of stopping and thinking and be grateful for what you have, to just constantly be on the chase for the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
That would make them happy.
I mean, because I know a lot of people that just work their asses off day and night to maintain what they have, as far as they may be working their asses off, they may be making a lot of money, but what are they doing to enjoy having that money?
Right. That's always been my thing. If you have to work 80 hours a week to maintain, quote unquote, your lifestyle,
you don't have a life when you're working like that.
That's always been my thing. Then what's all this stuff to you? If all you get is a heart attack watching your Rolex because it reminds you of the next meeting you have to be to and you're late to and you never prepared for, that's not to enjoy your watch.
Yeah.
For instance. But I think it's also, it's kind of, I don't know. It's capitalism and the media's fault, I think, because one of the things to me that equates to a lifestyle that can give you happiness is to not always be stressed out. And one of the things we all should be able to do is to live within our means. But if you look at it, even the American credit system doesn't give you that opportunity, because really to have good credit, you're supposed to have debt that you're proving that you're paying off. If you have debt that you're managing, somebody else is willing to give you more debt as long as you can prove that you can pay that off. Mm-hmm. And so it rolls on. Nobody ever says you have impeccable credit because you have shit ton of money saved up in your bank, and look here, you've paid every bill you've ever had in your whole life on time. That's awesome. Because of that, I'm willing to give you this loan for whatever it is you want. If you live like that, they say you have no credit. But no, it's true.
Yeah.
For years, that's how I was, because I've always been like that. I don't like to have loans. I don't like to live above my means. So that's how I've always lived my life. I make money, I pay my stuff, and then if I have money to blow on stupid stuff, that's awesome. Let's blow it. Mm-hmm. But I've always rather been, if I want something that's not, if I want a commodity item. So in my case, guys, you know, what does Chris want?
A guitar.
I've always saved up money so I could go in and cash that guitar. I've never been one to say, I really want that, so I should get it on, look, I can get it on credit. It's only $200 a month for 5 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. And done it that way. I save up because that way I'm within my means. I paid all my bills. I have next month's bills set up already. Now I have X amount of money, and hey, look, I can buy a new guitar. But the system here always even tells people that's not how you should do it. You should just go get it and pay it off later. That already tells people that, hey, you should live above your means. On top of that, with materialistic stuff, I mean, shit, every other commercial here is about living above your means.
Oh, yeah.
Unless you get this new, sleek, sexy. Have you guys noticed, too, how everything, and these are inanimate dead objects, they're always sexy. Unless you have that new, sexy, sleek Lexus, you can't be happy.
Yeah.
Now, let me just ask you, that sound, I mean, yeah, if I had the money, right, but who in their right mind think that you're gonna be happy with a car payment that's $500 a month?
Or
that
more.
Is added stress.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't believe that things, you can't buy true happiness. Those are fleeting moments of, look, this is so cool. But I mean, if you're not happy in the rest of where you're at, that thing won't bring you happiness.
So, materialistic items and money don't make you happy.
No, I really don't think so. You need a certain amount of money to be able to live.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong to aspire to have more. But I think you're fooling yourself to say that, you know, if I just would have more and more, that would make me happy. Because it doesn't. If you have a really shitty relationship, there's no diamond ring or crystal vases or fancy watches that'll make that misery better.
Yeah, even like some artists say, you know, I was the saddest at my worst when I was at the top and I had all this money and all these houses and cars and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen that firsthand with a lot of people, that they were at their happiest when basically they had everything they owned, including their gear, and they could carry it in their two hands, sleeping in rehearsing rooms, not being able even to eat every day. But they were happier then than when they were selling millions of records, owning sports cars and a couple of houses, being chased, so if you so want, by the paparazzis. That's when they were really at their lowest in terms of happiness. And people looking in from the outside would say, you know, wow, that's the life I want. Look, he lives in a mansion. But that mansion was just filled with despair.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want a mansion and can afford it, I'm not saying don't get it, but don't ever fool yourself if you're not happy to begin with, that mansion will make you happy.
Right.
So, yeah. Wherever you are in life, guys, just, I don't think we do that often enough.
Figure out what makes you happy, and you know what?
Well, and
nourish it, pursue it.
Stop for a second. Whatever you're doing, stress. The same thing, I can speak from my own experience. Stress does not make you happy. To always be under pressure is not the way to live. You gotta be able to just stop for a second. And even if you don't feel like, oh, your life is the greatest, fucking stop. Smell the smells.
Smell the roses,
if the
as
roses
they say.
Around, yeah, well, just, you know.
Or if you're in South Central Texas, smell the mountain laurel. Oh, it's beautiful out there. It's so fragrant. Somebody needs to capture that scent.
Yeah, but a lot of times what we do that really makes us feel happy isn't big things. Mm-hmm. It's fun to watch the dogs play.
Yeah.
It's fun to...
It's fun to walk through the park and people come up to us and start talking to us, or, you know, start playing with the dogs or wanting to pet the dogs. That's fun to watch. And it makes me happy to see that the dogs put a smile on people's faces. Yeah,
that's free entertainment.
Yeah.
And I mean, what makes you happy? You paint, for instance. You do artwork.
Yeah.
You're very happy and content when you do that. I get happy and content, like if we're talking about not like as together, but on our own. You like to paint. That makes you happy.
Right.
Costs next to nothing. I'm happy when I play music. That... Okay, now someone you'll say, yeah, but your equipment cost money way back when. Yeah, but the actual act of taking half an hour out of your day to just jam.
Yeah.
That doesn't cost more than the electricity to power the equipment, which is next to nothing. Most things in life that you can get happiness of is free, but you guys stress away and don't even take the time out to do it. So just take some time out. Do what makes you happy. Because I bet you it's not expensive stuff. Aspire to get more if you want, but realize that...
There's consequences out there.
Yeah, there's consequences. And please don't be those guys that we know of, like you said, like certain chosen parts of the family, for instance. Don't spend your life grieving stuff that you think you're entitled to that never came your way, or think that if only you could get more gold, diamonds, and money, that automatically makes you happy, because it doesn't.
It doesn't.
They're cool accessories, but at the end of the day, that's all they are. I wouldn't trade our life for like a gold-plated diamond tub with diamond knobs. I mean,
what's the point of that?
What? Yeah, really, what's the point? Anybody?
Yeah, nobody's going to see my tub when I'm in it.
Right? So, guys, try to be happy. Be aware of the streaming services that try to take your happiness.
They will take your happiness away. No.
No, but try and be happy with what you guys have. There's always something good in life.
Yeah.
And
even though life throws you some shit.
life throws you curveballs, but I think Andy McCoy has it right. Life goes in waves. You go up, you go down, you go up. And as long as you know it, the downs aren't that bad.
Yeah.
You just gotta be aware of.
You gotta just pick yourself back up.
Yeah. And also, since we talked about the Oscars, remember, if you want to break perception of people, regardless of their
Race.
color, ethnicities, and all that, that break in the stereotypes is up to you guys.
Yeah.
With that in mind, I hope you had a good listen to the podcast, that you enjoyed it.
And don't forget, you can listen to us on SoundCloud, YouTube.
That's where we're at right now.
Oh,
Yes.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay, so it's down to SoundCloud. Okay.
Yeah, because the other services, same thing. They just wanted money out of us, and they didn't generate.
That sucks.
They didn't generate enough audience to make it worthwhile. So the ones we really like, SoundCloud and YouTube,
yeah,
we're there.
It looks like we've got some new listeners on SoundCloud, so welcome to the Podsters, guys, and we hope you enjoy our little talks and our little therapy sessions. That's what this one kind of sounded like today, but we'll talk about anything and everything. We're Podsters. We stir shit up.
Yep. And if you want us to talk about something in particular, comment below, join our Facebook group, or shoot us an email at thepodsters@gmail.com.
Yeah, we're open to your suggestions, your comments, whatnot.
Yeah,
if we don't like it, we'll take it with a grain of salt. Whatever. And on that note, see you later.
Bye.